What is up, everybody? BlueDog35 here. This is just a quick update, I guess. Video update of my Subaru build. This is the driver's side cylinder head single cam. It's for an EJ251. These heads have been decked. I'm probably going to end up sending them back out to get them decked again because I've been moving them around. I spent about, I want to say, an hour trying to get the cam gear off of this. I used my impact gun, which is over there. I did all kinds of stuff and I could not get it to come off. I don't have air, I just have a crappy, it's not even like a brand name. I bought it at AutoZone a million years ago. Battery power, 24 volt battery impact gun. It claims it does 200 pound-foot of torque, but I highly doubt that that's what it's putting out. But anyways, I figured that if I was able to get the top plate off here, then I would be able to get the cam out and have easier access to the valve springs so I can do the valve seals, the valve stem seals, or whatever you want to call them. What I used was a T40. That's for these guys here. And then I don't have any Allen keys, so I found a Torx bit that fit them, and it's a T30. It's not really advised, but you can get away with it a few times as long as you're not, going in there every day or whatever. Now, basically what I'm going to do is get my big screwdriver here and kind of just go to town prying. And the cam half right here, I guess, the plate or whatever, should, in theory, come off like so. Avoid pinching myself. And just kind of get under here. There's some sealer going on there. But I don't have any... it might be stuck there. Give me a second. This is my impact gun here. Just for argument's sake, this is removing this. I don't see anything hanging up on it unless there's a bolt underneath, which I don't see, and it's come away quite clean. I, in theory, should just be able to lift the cam up. But that's up, that's out. I should be able to wiggle this guy free. I see. It pulls out. There's like a step or something that goes in. So I gotta get all these out. All the bolts out of the holes. And then I should just be able to pull. But here's one of the cam seals that I need to replace. So I can just go ahead and maybe. No? There we go. Pop this out. There's one of the cam seals. That comes in the kit that I have for all the seals in the engine. But I don't want the actual... Oh, you know what? I bet you it's some dowel pins or locating tabs or something that's stopping me from taking the entire thing off without removing this guy here. It's a bit of a pain because what I used was the old timing belt, a pair of vice grips to hold the timing belt, and then I kind of just stepped on the timing belt hoping that I could use a torque wrench or something to turn the deal off here. The rattling you hear is the bolts that hold the shroud on. I'm going to use my Lazy Man's magnet on a stick here to retrieve those. There's one, and there's the other. So those I'm going to keep over here, just safekeeping. They don't necessarily need to be washed. But yeah, that's what that is. This is in 2 halves, and it's really not free until this guy comes off, and then this guy isn't really free until the actual cam gear comes off. So I may have to resort to taking this to a local shop that has air or something, just to try and, you know, get this to actually come off. I am going to attempt my rattle gun one more time. Sorry for the loud. Just know that it's going to get loud in a second. And if you're using headphones, to, you know, beware. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that's not even budging. And that's a full charge for my impact gun. And no matter what I do, it's just not budging. So I'm probably gonna snug these guys back down on the cam. I would just lift the whole cam off, but it's got that little half thing that, yeah. So I'm gonna just put my tail between my legs, snug these guys back down a little bit, and bring this cylinder head to a shop that has air, and go from there. Because I see, what I don't get is, here's another of the exact same cam gear off another head that I have. The only thing is, this cam gear is broken. It's broken. It's broken, and the cylinder head that I have, that I took it off of, needs to be tank cleaned, and at the moment I really cannot afford that. So, you know, it might just be easier to give a shop, you know, $5 or $10 to pop this cam gear off for me. You know, where they have like the actual tool to do it that holds the gear still, and I don't. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I will probably make an update video then. I think at the moment I'm slightly downtrodden because you know, I can't do what I was planning on doing. But you win a few, you lose a lot. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna work on tidying up the garage a little, and then I'll look and see if, because it's a little late at the moment to bring one of these guys, or bring, you know, this to the garage down the street that will have air, because they're probably closed, and seeing as though it's like, I'm pretty sure it's New Year's Eve. I can't really remember, but I think it's a day before. I think it's the 29th. Yep, it's the 29th, so it's not New Year's Eve, it's the day before New Year's Eve. But they're still closed. So, yay me, right? Alright, I got an update. As you can see, there ain't no cam gear here anymore. Basically what I did was, I took the I took my really long 3/8 inch drive extension, and I shoved it through the camshaft sensor hole in the plastic. Kind of hurt it a little, but you know, that's nothing a little super glue can't fix. And I put it through the hole of the sprocket, and then I got my super fine tooth 1/4 inch drive ratchet on there with a breaker bar, and I stood, you know, me and my giant 350 pounds, I basically stood on the end of this back here, and it was kind of rusting in this groove here, and I was able to get it to come off. I broke it free after trying for like 5 minutes. I did chip this part right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's a newly broken piece. I have yet to find it, but since I'm stripping this head down to, you know, basically nothing, you know, I should be able to find it, and if I don't, then I'll have it tank cleaned and all that stuff, because in all honesty, this car is not going to be on the road for another, you know, 5 to 6 months. So it's not a huge deal. Oh, there goes one of the bolts down the cylinder head, or down the head bolt hole. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these guys off and take the cam out. So just if you're wondering how to remove the camshaft on one of these engines, say an EJ251 or an a single overhead cam EJ series engine, at least this is for the EJ225, the 251, I mean. Basically, you undo these guys. Boom, 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 boom. There's, so I can't math. There's this many bolts, and then you undo them, and eventually, once you get them all undone, you'll need a pry bar or something equivalent, and I don't know what's causing this guy. And probably this one. Yep. So we'll get that, and then this should just lift off like so, revealing a crappy gasket. Do your best not to touch the mating surfaces of the bearing. This has never been off, so I'm going to place it on a piece of semi-clean paper towel. And then this is the camshaft, along with the cam seal. So come on. I guess the cam seal is kind of, there we go. This is a Subaru 2.5 liter single camshaft. Actually never, pardon me while my balls drop, I've actually never held one of these guys before. I'm going to take the utmost care in handling. I'm actually going to wrap it in shop rags because I do not want anything happening to it, on account of these guys are quite expensive. Yes, I do have 2 backups, but better, you know, safe than pregnant. That's what they say, right? So we're just gonna wrappy, 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 wrappy. I know you can't see, and this is making for thrilling video, but take my word, it's like a baby. It's like a smothered baby. See, here we go. Camshaft. That'd make a nice shifter. Alright, so I am running out of spaces to put things. So I'm just going to put this in with my hammer in there. Next comes the removal of the valves and valve springs. I do have a valve spring compressor, but I don't believe it's the right one. For the life of me, I do not see that piece of metal that went flying. There's... Oh, that's an oil passage. Okay. I thought that was a pool of oil. Where's my spring compressor? There it is. This is an Advanced Auto Parts. I do not have the part number, but this is my spring compressor that I showed you earlier. Unfortunately, it's not really going to work on this one. For this reason, like so. See? It's actually, it doesn't grab in enough. I mean, I guess I could modify it. And yes, I can physically turn this. Actually, that's turning it out. I can physically turn this in like so, so that I get a better reach. But for some ungodly reason, it only goes to there. And it's really not enough. So, and for all I know, I could be using this wrong, but I highly doubt it. It's just, it doesn't squeeze enough. Know what I'm saying? Watch, with my luck, I'll get friggin', yeah, there we go. I don't want to break any of my springs, even though I have backups. You know, they have a lot more miles than these ones. So I'm probably going to end up going with the old school way, how I disassembled my old heads, which is taking a spark plug socket and manually compressing the springs. And then I had a magnet on the outside, so like I seriously went like this, only I had a spark plug socket going over this, and it was kind of stepped, so it had a little perch that it would sit on, and then there was a magnet inside that got the keepers, and then I could just pull the spring off, and then in turn flip the head over and pull the valve out from the bottom. Basically all I'm going after is the valve stem seals, which are underneath here. But until then, I cannot get to those. So I am truly at an impasse, but I got the cam off. That's all that matters. I'm not 100% sure, but I might go with the other cam from the other cylinder head, which is sitting up against the floor, or up against the wall over there, that came off my other engine. I just may have to have it polished, because I don't know how these oil journals are and everything, because on the engine that I did have, I actually spun a bearing, so it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Other than that, I know I'm kind of rambling, but other than that, there's not really much to say, so I'm just gonna cut this video because I thought I cut it like, 10 minutes ago. So yeah, once again, if you like this video, please rate, subscribe, like, comment, death threats, you know the deal. Check out the links in the description, and I'll catch you in the next video, which I promise will not be immediately after this in the same video. Thanks for watching.